Welcome, creepy ventriloquist dummies, to Geek Salad's Retro Movie Reviews from the Geek Salad Podcast. I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
And tonight we resume. We're taking our final lap on reviewing all of the films of PIXAR. We are in the last film released prior to the pandemic of 2020. And that also wasn't. I was gonna throw out a piece of trivia that is actually not a piece of trivia, but the winner of the 2019 Academy Award for Best Animated Feature Film, Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
All right. So I know this was the first time you've seen it.
Yeah. First time I saw it was
the
last
first
night.
time you've seen it. We saw it once, right when it hit Disney Plus, right, because I knew they rushed that to get it out during the pandemic, mainly to get more eyes on Disney Plus. It's kind of the same thing they did with Frozen 2.
Yeah.
So, thoughts?
It's fine. I mean, the reason I never really bothered watching this until now was because I thought that it was really unnecessary. I thought that Toy Story 3 was the perfect ending.
Yeah.
And nothing I watched last night changed my mind one iota.
Okay.
It's fine. It's a fun movie. It did have some emotional moments at the end that got me emotional, got me kind of jerked up. Yeah, but I mean that's a PIXAR movie for you. Beyond that, it was cute. I still have no idea why. I do know why it was made because it's a cash grab, but
yeah,
it really didn't need to be done.
Okay. By the way, just technical thing, you're kind of coming in and out microphone wise. You usually use your headphones, so I'm just.
Well, I haven't used my headphones in a while, actually.
Oh, geez, I'm just noticing that now. My apologies. So,
my cat's coughing up here. Stop it.
So for me, when it comes to Toy Story 4, it's one of those things where every time that you begin thinking this is just a wholly unnecessary sequel, they do something to kind of redeem themselves and make it a worthwhile movie. I feel like in the time that you and I have been talking about PIXAR movies now, which has been well over 6 months, with those little breaks in between, that we've never been overly complimentary of the Toy Story series on the whole. We have liked what we liked. We I kind of feel like neither of us were really slavish about loving the first movie. I feel like it is a pioneering animated film. It absolutely deserves its spot in those in the annals of animation. But storytelling is kind of weak. The animation got so much better within its own series, let alone what Pixar was capable of doing.
I mean, one thing I definitely noticed in this one is it absolutely gorgeous.
Oh,
the background especially is just. I mean, I thought it was photorealistic completely.
Background and textures. I mean, the people looked fantastic. I almost kind of wish that when they showed young Andy,
they did back.
They had at least done Toy Story 2, Andy, for that one, just to kind of make it look like, oh man, have they evolved? So it was just kind of nice to find that Woody was no longer going to be played with, and to give him kind of a right off into the sunset type of moment with Bo, which I'm trying to remember. Yeah, Bo was in 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she was. Okay.
The prologue that happened at the beginning of this one happened in between 2 and 3.
Right. Well, I think we know a thing or two about unwanted sequels. Oh, yes, Kurt, we do. We'll get to that. I promise you, we will get to that. It's just, the funny thing is, and you and I, you're both huge Disney fans, and I just kind of feel like Toy Story has taken so much attention. Just the entire Toy Story thing has taken so much attention from the Pixar on the whole that, when I remember when they were talking about, oh, we're going to do something at Hollywood Studios for Pixar, and I'm like, they're going to do a Pixar land. It's going to be amazing. And it was like, no, it's just Toy Story Land. It's like, it's fine, I guess.
I mean, they have Pixar Pier out in California Adventure,
Right.
but it's got a really half-assed Inside Out ride. It's got
Right.
the
Other
California,
than a retheme on the roller coaster,
yeah,
most of it are shops, and it's all like cosmetic, right?
yeah.
I mean, the Toy Story, and I will say that Slinky Dog Dash is so much fun, and it's a low impact roller coaster, Mike.
Hmm.
I might be able to entice you, my friend.
Yes, perhaps. I think Jono might have a better a way of getting me on that.
I would assume so. But
I
anyway,
mean, after all, she's got me on both versions of the Tower of Terror.
okay. Oh, wonderful. Okay, great. Can't wait. But that is a cash cow. Kurt, you're absolutely right. It is a cash cow for Disney. I think the only thing that might actually give it any competition is Cars, because Cars is a huge merch driver for them. And it's understandable. And quite honestly, here's what I really liked about Toy Story 4. I like that the focus was more on Woody, and it was so much off of Buzz, and I feel like that was like a knee-jerk reaction to just like, maybe we shouldn't invest so much in Tim Allen anymore.
That is one thing I did notice after I finished watching. I was like, that should have been called Woody Story, not Toy Story, because the rest of the characters had, I mean, Bo had a lot to do, but all the other toys, I mean, Jesse had what, 3 lines in the entire movie?
Something like that, which is interesting because if you look at the shorts, this Bonnie's story was really told through shorts.
Yeah.
Jesse has a bigger thing in the long form shorts that they did, like the Halloween and the hotel one, the motel one. Yeah, which I think was the Halloween one. They gave Jesse a lot in that, and that is fantastic. I think that's also where we were introduced to Combat Carl.
Voiced by Carl Weathers.
Love it. Love it. And it's funny too, you think about those shorts and you think about like Bonnie brought Woody places with her. He was part of the group. And now all of a sudden he's a forgotten toy. He sits on the bench where he's left in the closet to collect dust bunnies with, all the old Jewish toys that are in there.
Well, it was kind of cool to hear Betty White again.
Yeah.
Especially after we just lost her.
Yeah, it was Betty White, Mel Brooks, Carl Reiner, who we lost a couple of years ago, and Carol Burnett.
Yep.
They also show up in one of the Forky Asked a Question shorts on Disney Plus.
I watched the first one of that. I got to say, Forky, probably my least favorite character in this movie.
It's tough. It's tough. I understand
so
what they're trying to get to with him. He is more fun on the shorts than he is in this movie. Tony Hale does a great job with it, but it's just
he spends like a good 60% of the movie just being an irritating piece of trash.
Yeah, trash.
And then the rest of it, he's just there. He doesn't really. He literally doesn't serve a purpose other than something that Woody has to go get. He's a MacGuffin.
Yeah,
he is the MacGuffin of this movie.
You're absolutely right. He is a MacGuffin. But it does show Woody's steadfastness to keep his kid happy. He's really there to show the dedication that he has to his kid, no matter who that kid is, and no matter how kind of like poorly she treats him. Who sells Dick Van Dyke and Carol Burnett show royalties don't last forever. They actually do. Based on rebroadcasting and syndication rights and DVDs and all that, those do last quite a while. None of them are hurting for money, let's just say. There is always a production of the producers going on somewhere in the world. At least up until 2019. I don't think Mel Brooks is going to
be having to work at Arby's anytime soon.
Yeah, exactly. The weird thing was that the emotional heart of this story, besides Woody, finally being able to leave the group, and split up the gang, is Gabby.
I was pleasantly surprised by Gabby.
I don't think Christina Hendricks gets enough work. I mean, apart from the fact that I'm an old lech and she's just got like that slam in 1950s body.
Yeah.
And even when she was doing ads, she was doing high class ads. She was doing like, oak aged whiskey ads and stuff like that. Ever since Mad Men, just, oh man, I love you. I want to see you in more things.
I do love kind of like this trend that Disney and by extension Pixar has done over the last like few years, where they put out a movie where there is no villain. I mean, there might be an antagonist,
Yeah.
but even that is got really shades of gray.
Well, when you break down Pixar on the whole, there were very few actual villains, especially in later Pixar. I mean, if we just clock our minds backwards to movies, you haven't seen Loki yet, have you?
No.
Okay, so I'm not going to bring that one up yet. Oh, good Lord. It was a month since the last time we did one of these.
Onward, there's not really a villain.
There is no villain in Onward. It was 2018.
Incredibles 2. There was a
Incredibles 2.
Incredibles
There is a villain in Incredibles 2. There is a villain in Coco.
Yeah.
There really is no villain in Cars. There are antagonists. They're not villains. They're not the reason why they, succeed or fail.
Yeah.
So the problem is that self-determination and confidence isn't a villain in these movies. Maybe it should be, because they are Pixar movies, and essentially they're all foreign films just animated with anthropomorphic stuff. There is no villain in Inside Out. There is no villain in there's pains in the ass in certain movies, but there's no like big bad or anything like that, like a Syndrome.
Look at 2019. It was Toy Story 4, but it was also Frozen 2. No villain in Frozen 2.
Nope.
Closest villain was someone that's been dead for a while.
Yeah. Voiced by Stacy Keach. I see it right there. The villain in Cars was Dwight Eisenhower in the Interstate. Okay, not wrong. But no, you're right about that. And for the most part, with the Pixar movies, or at least with the Toy Story movies, I guess they usually do have villains. And again, they're more, they're the big obstacle you have to get past at the end. It's
Toy Story 1, there's no real villain, I guess.
Sid, Stinky Pete, and then lots of
hugs.
Yeah. In 3.
Yeah.
So this was an interesting take, and I think that as long as they stay true to their word, that they're not bringing this back, I'm fine with it. I honestly would live a happy man if I never had to hear another Randy Newman Toy Story song. This was I can't hit you. What is that? And why did it get nominated for an Oscar? And why did it? Oh, so it also lost to Elton John, essentially just taking the music from Club at the End of the Street and do it, just like, I'm just gonna put this into Rocket Man. Fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah, that's as soon as I started up the movie, I texted Andy. He's like, I've got to suffer through another movie of Randy Newman's warbling.
Yeah, it's just I feel like for audiences that have grown up with this, I feel like we are officially ready to move on from Toy Story.
Yeah.
I like the small little stuff that they do now with it. I made no secret of the fact that I love the shorts. Yeah. Small Fry on Disney Plus is hands down one of the funniest things that you're going to find on that entire platform.
Oh, absolutely. Small Fry is a brilliant short.
And I would tell you that Forky Asks a Question is a lot of fun, and it gives the other actors who do voices for it, because they obviously didn't get Joan Cusack, Tim Allen, or Tom Hanks to do this.
Right.
But
I mean,
they got everybody else. They got Jeff Garland to do the unicorn. They got Kristen Schaal to continue doing the Triceratops.
I mean, hell, the porcupine, the hedgehog.
Yeah,
Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, Timothy Dalton.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and they can do that. They can get away with that, and there's a lot of fun stuff in that. And those shorts are 5 minutes long.
Yeah,
and those are great. And if we're going to continue with Toy Story, it's been 2 years. I don't think we're getting really anything else right now, unless they just try to do. Who the hell knows? I don't want to see any more continuing adventures of Woody and Bo.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we really do have to bring up the other kind of new characters that they introduce, Bunny and Ducky.
I really like them. I thought Key and Peele did a great job as Bunny and Ducky.
I was not a fan of theirs until they started doing all the stories about how they're going to get the key.
Yes.
That was brilliant.
Honestly, it is one of the first big highlights of the movie is them just going into this wild fantasy. And that fantasy continues in the post-credit.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, I love that.
Do you really have laser eyes? Yeah.
I thought that they were really good. They were the first kind of introduction we got to the Toy Story 4 story with the trailers or the teasers.
The teaser. They were the teaser. That was it.
Yeah. I really liked them a lot. Duke Kaboom, the Canadian Evil Knievel.
Hey, we got our Keanu Reeves connection for this episode.
Exactly. I know Em's already used it for her obligatory Keanu Reeves reference, but yeah, he was a lot of fun in this. He seemed like he was having a lot of fun in that because of all the flashbacks.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the kid's name was?
Rajon.
Rajon.
This is for you, Rajon.
See, when I was a kid, I actually had the Evel Knievel version of that. And it's absolutely true. That thing would jump. I mean, that thing wouldn't jump over my foot.
No.
My 4-year-old foot, it wouldn't jump over. But yeah,
that's the one thing is for all the new characters, it seems like they were just completely game for it. They just had so much fun.
Right, I fully agree. I agree with that a lot. Mainly because again, they didn't spend a lot of time on the older characters. I liked what the older characters were doing with the Winnebago.
It was interesting.
Well, part of that is because I actually found that the dad was pretty entertaining dealing with that. And that's a thing that we've never really had introduced into the Toy Story family is a dad.
Yeah.
Even the mom is just kind of like a cipher. She's just there.
Yeah.
Bonnie's mom is an integral part to all of the stories. And, wasn't just a pair of legs for the first movie,
Yeah.
But, yeah, this movie's a solid B-. It's got a lot of good. I didn't dislike this movie at all. I just, again, if this is the movie that says we are finally putting Toy Story out to pasture, then I am fine with that. I think it's a worthy entry into the story as long as this is it.
I'll give it a solid C+.
Okay.
It's fine. The stuff with Woody and Bo, I enjoyed. I like their relationship. I like Annie Potts.
There was a lot of good chemistry between them, which is very interesting when you're dealing with a cartoon.
Yeah. I loved what they did with Gabby Gabby. Those ventriloquist dolls can burn in hell.
Oh my God!
I want to know why they didn't talk.
Because there was nobody there to throw their voice.
Well, yeah, but you have other toys that have no voice. That they're not meant to talk, but they talk.
Well, I think they did talk. Actually, they did talk. They just didn't talk out loud because there was that one that did that weird. Because you know how ventriloquist dummies are, where they're just they have no spine and they're just ugh. And one whispers into Gabby's ear, but you never hear what he says. I don't know if maybe, and I'm sure this is worth a trivia search on IMDb, whether or not they had voices recorded and it took away from the creepiness aspect of it, because I feel that might be why there was no voice in there.
They were
creepy. They were really creepy.
Yeah.
Just imagine one of those waking you up in the middle of the night. You open your eyes and just see it staring over you and go like this.
I mean, R.L. Stine has made a career out of that.
Yeah. But, yeah, I'm fine with this movie. I really am. I'm glad I didn't spend movie money on it. I'm glad hey, it's part of the Disney Plus service now. Let's watch it.
I'm glad I saw it, but I don't really feel the need to go see it again.
Right.
It's there.
Yeah.
And it exists. Fine.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, exactly. I honestly don't remember where I ranked this last year when I was talking with Tom and everybody about our PIXAR rankings, but this one definitely isn't as good as a 2 or a 3. But it, in a lot of ways, is better than 1. Mainly because I do tend to remove a lot of that historical significance away from 1. It's like why I rank Iron Man much lower than most people do.
No, I rank Iron Man. I rank it kind of midway.
Folks, you can follow me on Letterboxd, and you can see my MCU rankings. So
yeah.
But yeah, any other thoughts on Toy Story 4?
No, not really.
Okay.
Oh, I did really love what was it, McDimple? Little tiny.
Oh yes.
The one that looked like Lucy.
It was like a Polly Pocket. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that because there is one of the Forky shorts where they bring McDimple in, and McDimple talks about like going through the cat's digestional system.
Oh, oh yeah, because the cat ate her.
Well, in this one, the cat ate it, then threw it up, but McDimple's still covered in cat puke.
I know the feeling.
Oh yeah, I had to clean some up today as I'm cooking dinner. It's just all of a sudden I hear this like, I'm like, are you serious? I just fed you. Slow down.
No, yeah, he gave me a bit of an issue a couple of days ago, and it was kind of compounding something he did on Christmas.
Oh.
Well, see, he doesn't really like strangers, and unfortunately, there were strangers over, so he didn't leave my room, including when he had to go to the bathroom.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So all those blankets, all that needed to be washed, and then about 2 days ago, he decided to throw up a little bit.
Fantastic! Congratulations, your box is now your bed is now the litter box.
It just glanced off the edge, so I only had to wash one blanket.
Still,
yeah.
Any blanket that needs to be washed without you being like, "Damn, I gotta change my sheets." That's too much. Yeah. So, all right. So we want to know, what are your thoughts on Toy Story 4? Where does this rank in the Toy Story's annals for you? It's nice to kind of talk about a Tim Allen movie. We're not like, oh God, why? So it was nice to kind of bring us back to that. So leave a polite comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to this video, like it, do all that fun YouTube-y kind of stuff. Next week we continue on our victory lap here of PIXAR movies when we discuss.
Next week we go onward.
We do go onward. I'm really looking forward to this one. I gotta go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, I as well. I saw this movie 1 week before they closed down all the theaters for the pandemic.
We were going to go to that movie the day they closed the theaters. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we'll be talking about that next week. Also, check us out. Mike and I host a little podcast called Geek Salad. You can check us out wherever you get your podcasts. So Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify. We are there. Follow us on Twitter at Geek Salad Radio and on Facebook at Geek Salad Podcast. You can check out all of our musings there. Also, within the channel, tons of movie reviews. After we finish PIXAR, we have a nasty habit of surviving. So my cat was here.
Yeah, my cat is here, but he does not get on my lap. So
no, neither does mine. My cat is an ass. So anyway, until next time, I'm Andy.
I'm Mike.
Go forth, be nerdful, and you've got a friend in us. Talk to you later.